Hey everyone, welcome back to another review. Today we have a masterpiece from Sideshow Collectibles. So stay tuned, and I think you guys would like it today. It's an older piece, but it's a very goodie. Okay, so as usual, we will go back to the beginning to do a semi-unboxing, and then we'll do some assembling with this piece. Okay, so stay tuned. I think you would like it today. Alright, so for this statue, the box, it's pretty compact and it's got just one layer, okay? And then this part, it's in the back of, this is the cape. So it's in the back of this box. It'll be lying down like that, and then you just have to take it out, okay? So nice and compact, and it looks like we're gonna have to have a lot of assembling to do. Okay, so looking at the box, and I almost forgot, I thought XM was the only one doing this, but there's actually assembling instructions for Lady Death, so you get this little piece of paper, not the high quality stuff that XM gives you, but it's okay, so it shows you how to assemble the little stuff, okay? And then the box, this is the exclusive version, so I think it's the hand holding the Hourglass. It's been a while, so I don't remember. Okay, so that's the top. Good, that's what the statue would look like after, I guess, it's done. And then you have that. The stiff is so long that it actually runs up to the top. And you see when I put this together, it's got challenges, I guess, for display because it is quite high. Okay, and then of course the Sideshow exclusive. Alright, so let's put this together. Okay, so we have the base. It looks like it's just a rock base, and then it's got a bunch of holes that you can stick skull and those spiky things. Okay, and it looks like it's somewhat color coordinated, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, so since there are no instructions, I'm just gonna randomly put them together. Alright, so I managed to get the statue on. It took me over a minute because, and I hate this when companies do it, it's a two-pegger. So you got one peg that goes right into the skull there, and then there's another one that goes back here where the front of her foot is. Okay, so it's a little bit tricky, and you know, when it's cold, it's a little bit harder to put in because the resin's gonna be, harder to manipulate, but I managed to get it in. Okay, so let's get all, I'm guessing I'm gonna be doing the those little things first before we get the rest of the body. Okay, so that's what the statue, well, the body looks like. Okay, so surprisingly it's clean paint so far. Okay, so let's get the other components on. Alright, so finally I got the skulls and the spikes in. I think this time it's a little bit quicker than the last Carnage from Sideshow that I did. And the color coordinated, I guess, base with the spikes, it helps a little bit, but not as bad as Carnage, but still it took me like 3 or 4 minutes just to randomly put them in. And there isn't, like, I guess you can look at this picture right here, but then that doesn't really help you much. You know, they have terrible instructions, unlike XM. So, you know, other than that, the base is okay. You know, it fits better than Carnage. Now that was a fun time putting together. Okay, so let's see. It tells me that I need to do the cape next, but I'm gonna put on the cape last. I'm gonna put on everything else. Okay, so let's see what it'll look like with the other stuff on. Alright guys, I take that back. I'm gonna follow the instructions like Ghost Rider. So what it's telling me is, well, you have to put the cape in before anything else, because once you put the hair on, the cape won't go. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So the hood's pretty much just for a show. It's not gonna fit anything. Okay, and then there's this hole in the middle. right there. So what you want to do is remove this pin. Okay, and then as you can see, there's a hole right there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to drape it over like this. Right, and then you see this, you want to put that this pin right in the middle between the threads, okay? So let's see if I can do this. You know what, it might be easier if I just thread it first. There we go, like that. Okay, and then we're gonna plug the hole. And there we have it. And the cape is posable. It's got like mesh, some form of wire down there. But for now, we'll leave it like that. Okay, so if we take it out. Okay, so now the next thing it's telling us to do is put on the hair. So as you can see, well, you will see when the hair goes on, this thing is useless. You're not going to get much. Okay, so let me show you guys. It's kind of weird though. It's like, well, you know, obviously she's bald without the hair piece, and you know, you have the little peg right there that you can put on. Okay, and the hair's pretty heavy, so I hope that there won't be any gaps. Okay, so let me go get the hair. Alright, so before I put it on, that's what the hair looks like. It's pretty light, fortunately. It's got purple hues to it, so it's nice. It's got nice shading, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, we'll attempt that. So let's get a little zoom in, and I will attempt to put the hair piece on. Okay. So like I said, the hood is pretty much useless, but it's just there for show. So we're going to try to... Can you guys see that? Try to stick it in there. Oh, that's not too bad. Look at that, perfect fit. Now Lady Death is looking good. I'm a little surprised that there's... Oh, I take that back. There is a slight gap. But I guess that can be adjusted as... you can actually use the hood to elevate the hair up a little. So that you eliminate that gap right there. Okay, so that's not too bad. So I'll give you a quick spin on that. So no chip at the you know, corner or anything like that. So that's good. Okay, so that we can adjust later. So there's a slight gap, but that's okay. It's not going to be perfect. Okay, so let's get the other stuff. And the instruction tells me I got to do the right hand with the sword and then the left with the sickle. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go with the regular sword hand first before we do the exclusive hourglass. And then, of course, the blade, you know, you connect it like this. Okay, and then the blade is plastic. So what we'll do is, I guess we'll do the... it's magnet, so we're just going to stick it in. It's got a strong enough magnet, as you can see. Okay, and then we'll stick the this sword in like so. Okay, so we have the regular, when you buy the regular version, it's going to come with the sword. Okay, so we'll switch out to the exclusive hourglass later. And then what I'll do is I will install the left hand with the sickle. Okay, so now we're going to do the left arm. So it actually comes in 3 parts. The arm itself with this, I think it's just resin. Okay. And then you have this top part of the sickle, it's all plastic. Alright, and surprisingly this pole, it's metal. Okay, so the best thing to do is, let me see. Best thing you can do is just go ahead and stick this in first. Okay. And we're going to stick the sickle on top. And you know, you can twist it around. As you can see, it's a pretty long, I guess, weapon. And then afterwards, so when you do the install here, you're gonna maneuver this toward the back, and then you're gonna just stick it in like so. Oops. It's a little bit tricky. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's in. So on the bottom of this, you want to make sure that it sticks in there, so it gives you some, right there, it'll give you some support right in there. Okay, so with that done, that's what good old Lady Death looks like. Okay, so when you buy the regular version, this is what you get. Alright, and if you don't want to do the cape, it's okay. You know, it still looks good, but I believe when I go back here and I'll show you. Because it's got the hood that's hidden, you can actually push it in to elevate the hair. Okay, so the hair is it will like lean back some. So as you can see right in there, let me zoom in for you guys. Right there, it will minimize the gap that you get. Okay, and without that cape, I'll do one without the cape for you guys. It may drop, you know, droop back, and you get a bigger gap. Okay, and I think that's gonna be random because it's you know, engineering, so it's the tolerance isn't you know, very good on it. Okay, so for now, let's keep the cape on, and then we'll do a 360. And then we'll switch out without the cape, and we'll do a 360 with the hourglass hand. Okay. All right, guys, it's 360 time with the regular sword and with the cape. Okay. So we'll go this way. I have to admit, this piece is really nice. It's been out for quite a while, and you know, you get the true mixed media here. Sorry, the cape is a little bit messed up because this is all posable, so I haven't decided how I want it to be posed. So it's like Gambit's cape. Okay, and this thing looks like it's coming right out of the comic book. Okay, so Sideshow did a really good job with this. Okay, so what we do now is I'll switch out the left hand for, sorry, the right hand for the exclusive hourglass. Okay, so I've taken the regular right hand out, and then the exclusive version also comes with this right hand with the hourglass. And surprisingly, this is a working hourglass, as you can see. And then when I do the reverse on this, so that's a nice touch by Sideshow. I can't believe they did that. Okay, so pretty simple. We're just gonna plug that in there, and then this piece you just place it in Hope's hand like that. Okay, so let's do a 360 with this. So you can go either way. Admittedly, I don't know too much about Lady Death, other than having, you know, read maybe one issue back in the days. So I don't know what that signifies, or if she even used it. But being Lady Death, time, hourglass, I guess it's gotta fall into that somewhere. Okay, so it's not too bad. The sickle is kind of, you know, higher, but this piece has been out for a while. So back then, you know, it looks like it's taking a lot of display space, but not really. I mean, nowadays with, like, you know, Prime 1 and XM Studios, this is nothing. This is pretty compact. Okay, so what we'll do now is I will remove the cape, and then I'll let you guys see it without the cape. And you might, like I said, see a gap in the hair, just because you don't have the hood support. Hey guys, so without the cape, that's, that's what it looks like. It's pretty good, and I take it back. You know, the gap here is not too bad. You can like, you know, squeeze it down and see the gap isn't as bad. So let's do a 360 with this. So if you like your sculpt, you know, to show more, you know, do it without the cape. Okay. So when I get a close up on this for you guys, I want to leave the cape off because I want to show you, you know, more of the sculpt, and then at the end we'll put it back on. Okay, it's really nice. This surprising is, you know, high quality, if you will. And then, whoops. Oh, good thing it's plastic. Still working. Look at that. We didn't destroy time. So we're gonna switch it out to. Oh, sorry, with the sword. So bam. All right. So you gotta be careful with this stuff. Breakage will happen on you. But I think this is still good. Yep. Time's still intact. All right. So nicely done. Okay, and then we're gonna go back this way. I really like this statue. Can't say that you know, I've read many comic books of it, but if you read comic books in the 90s, I guess, and early 2000s, then you should be aware of this character. And I'm surprised they haven't made like a movie out of this. Okay, so let's get a closer look. Go to final scorecard, and then we will, you know, put back the cape for another shot later. Okay. Okay, guys. Let's zoom in for a closer look, and then we'll go to the scorecard. First thing I guess we'll do is look at the face. As you can see, no googly eyes. What a big surprise. But seriously, because the way the character is designed, with the white eyes, as you can see, there can't be any googly eyes. And then as you can see, what I was telling you about the gap, it's not too bad, you know. Actually, having that little gap is nice because, you know, hair, it gives it a little bit more details. So I take back what I said about needing the hood. You don't need it. All you have to do is press it, and then eventually it will stick. Okay? And then the necklace, or... You know what? It's kind of weird because it's just floating there. It's not attached to anything. But since she's a, you know, otherworldly character, we'll just say that, you know, it's magic. It just floats there. And then going top down, as you can see, the sculpt is nicely done. So I guess with our first category, sculpting, when I look at this, you know, it's nice. It's just done well. I can't complain much about it. And, you know, for you guys out there, that's what the angle looks like. Okay, nicely done. Nice job, Sideshow. Okay, so for sculpting, I would have to give this, let me see. I want to give it a 10 out of 10. I don't see anything wrong with it. You know, it's just perfectly done. Okay, so we'll go 10 out of 10 for sculpting. As you can see, I'm gonna go from bottom to top, sorry. I don't see anything wrong with it. And you know, if you see my other videos, I do have complaints about, you know, the boobs being too big on characters. But this one of the few times that the sculpting does match the character. If you've seen the Lady Death drawn, you know, in the comic book and stuff, those are really whatever they are, triple 48, 46, triple Ds, whatever. So it's apt for this character. Okay, so I don't have an issue with that. When they do it on like Jean Grey or, you know, Rogue, then it's a problem because they're not known to, you know, be like, you know, huge like that. Okay, so as you can see, she's got like the leather long boots, and it looks like a leather, but it's not. They painted it real well. Okay, and then the hair is nicely done. Okay, so 10 out of 10 for sculpting. Our next category is, let me get you a closer look at the thing. Okay. our next category is fit and finish. So if this has any mixed media like the cape, if it fits, and then the paint apps, if it's done well enough, no mishaps like Rogue. So with this one, I did not see any flaw on mine. The only issue I would have is, some of you guys may have a bigger gap, so you might have to fidget with this to have it fit perfect, okay? So mine's fine. That's the only one. And then, of course, since Lady Death is, almost all white, so they have to put in the purple hues. So I do think that works very well. It's just black and white statue, basically. And, the base, it's just a pile of mud with skulls. So let me get you a closer look at the skulls, okay? So no problem here. So again, if I look really close, like the lines here, they're just right, I don't have any issue with that. So let me get you a closer look at these things. No problem there. I would have to give this a... you have some white sparkles, but then that could have just been, dust and stuff. So I would have to give this a 10 out of 10 for fit and finish. I can't believe it. Sideshow, 10 out of 10 for fit and finish. Right? I know, it's incredible, but this is an incredible statue. Okay, so next category we have is, let's do source material. So when you look at this, does it resemble Lady Death? Okay, so if you read the comic book or if you've been exposed to it back a few years, it looks like she's coming right out of the comic book. Okay, so for source material, I would have to give this a 10 out of 10. Now, there may be some liberties taken, with things here and there, but for the most part, it's, Lady Death when you look at it. So I don't have an issue with this at all. Okay, so again, I would give this a 10 out of 10 for source material. Okay, and then our next category we have is, let me see. Hold on, I'm going to put this on pause for a second. Okay, so we're back. Next category we have is art direction. So Lady Death looks like she's stepping out, or she's about to step out. Do something, I don't know, whatever. It's just a standing museum pose. I love action poses, but this is good for this character. It's got, the base, I guess, it's apt for the character. She's an underworld character. So I don't have an issue with this art direction. It's a tricky one whenever I guess, give it a rating for art direction. So with this one, I think it's apt for the character, right? I can't think of anything else that, maybe she's got some other demon's body lying around, but then you're getting to the diorama, country. So for something like this, I think it works fine. So for art direction wise, I guess a little bit better action pose would be nice. So I would give this it's just a museum with a bunch of skulls. So I would give this a 9 out of 10. I would like to see something different, but again, unfortunately, I haven't. I'm not a huge Lady Death fan, so I couldn't tell you what would make, a good pose or something like that. So 9 out of 10. And then our final category is let me see. Oh, let me switch this out for the Hourglass. Hand, don't it? Let go. Oh, this thing is really tough. Hang on, I need to put the camera down for this. Alright, so I took the right arm out with the sword. So we're going to do a look at the Hourglass. So this one will also work. Okay, so our last category is accessories. That means that, how many switch outs we get or the base itself. So if you have like complicated, clever base, that will boost the score. So for accessories, we do have, I guess, 3 things. The optional cape, which is nice. I don't think I'll ever display with that because I think it hides the sculpt. So I really like the sculpt. Okay. So that's why I don't think I would ever display it, although it's an option. And then, you know, you get the right hand with the sword, and then this thing is left hand. Oh, sorry, right hand with the hourglass. So accessories wise, you can like I guess 2 switch out arms and the optional cape. And then the base is okay. I guess it's apt for the character, you know, with the she's Lady Death. So that would you know, be it's a thematic base. So accessory wise, I would give this a 9 out of 10. Just because, you know, you're getting, you know, nice right arm switch out, 2 different display option, you know, with the cape and without the cape. Okay, so 9 out of 10. So that's overall pretty good, and I guess not an average, but the overall piece, I really like this piece, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to have to give the Sideshow production a 9.5 out of 10. This is an older piece, so you know, lately they just haven't been all that great. But this piece, I don't know how they can, you know, mess this one up. The paint isn't overly complicated or anything like that. Okay, so nice overall piece. The only thing I can think of that you can, or Sideshow can improve on this is the left arm. You're stuck with the sickle, even if you don't want it. It would look weird if she's just holding like a baton, if you don't include the lower and upper half. So that would be nice if they did a arm or even a hand that you know, she's clenching her fists or something like that. Okay, or you know, doing something like that. So that would be nice, like do this on that side, because you're stuck with the sickle, and as you can see when I'm pulling out, it will take an extra 3 inches of display room. So that's the only issue I would have. Okay, so overall 9.5 out of 10. They did a really good job with this. So I'm impressed, and I'm gonna just play it without the cape. You can. I just you know, it actually will give you nice red contrast with black and you know, white. Okay, so it's really nicely done, and I think this is the only Lady Death you need. Sideshow came out with, I think, another one, or it's coming out. There may be even another one in the works, but I think this is a better one, and you get the 2 nice display. Okay, so thanks for watching, and then I guess I'll be putting more Sideshow and Bowen designs while we wait for the next XM Studios. I think it's Iron Man Classic I have coming in any months now. Damn boat's so slow. Okay, so thanks for watching, and then stay tuned. I will be breaking out some old Sideshow Classic, and I think this one is quite affordable. I would highly recommend you guys getting it. This could be, you know, if you're just a fan of comic books and stuff like that, characters, you should get it. It's one of those, it's like you only need 1 copy of it, you know, a certain character. And for Lady Death, I don't think she's that popular, but you should have one, like 1 Witchblade and stuff like that. And this is a fine representation, okay, with a couple display option. So you can't go wrong here. Alright, thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Next time we'll do you know, something different. Bye.